Yes, guys, welcome back to the Ilovesesh podcast. You got the man himself, Mr. Ilovehouse, in the building. I want to say Happy New Year once again. You know, it's a fresh year, more blessings. You know, got DJs coming in. You know, DJs, promoters, hosts, MCs, the whole works. You know, but I've got a very humble man in the building at the minute. A lot of people has said good words, you know, a lot of people I respect as well, you know. So I know I've reached out quite a while ago, obviously, like I said, off camera, you know what I mean? So I apologise about that. So I just want to, get me? But yeah, even Petchy threw it in there. It's like, look, mate, get him down there ASAP. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? He was on to me from early doors, so he put me on to you properly.
Wow.
If I be honest, you know what I mean, I didn't really, you know what I mean. I didn't really know too much. He said, "Look, mate, you got to do your research on him, get him down there." So shout out to Petchy every time. You know what I mean?
Big time.
But we've got Sully in the building, so how we doing? Blessings. Look, man.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of good things about you, man. You know, I love good people, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just being honest. Firstly,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I respect good people. I always respect my elders as well. You know what I mean? That's how. I've been.
And I always respect my youngsters as
I
well.
mean, yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's what I've been raised off first and foremost. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna come at you like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. How we doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
How you doing?
I'm really well. We're starting a new year, which is always nice. I'm not really a mad Christmas person. I wasn't brought up Christian first and foremost, anyway. But New Year, I like New Year. You know, it's a real kind of reset, and also falls just before my birthday as well, which is another personal reset.
Yeah, course.
You've got society's New Year, but my life goal, my New Year also starts on my birthday
as well. Yeah, you Capricorn as well.
I am.
Yeah, I'm a Capricorn as well.
See, you go again.
Yeah.
So yeah, life is good. I'm feeling positive about the new year ahead. I had a good. I've had an interesting last few years, in fact. And yeah, man, I'm just feeling really positive. I'm looking forward to opportunities, meeting new people like yourself, like this, because I'm a fan of your show as well, though. And I've been watching since the beginning.
Yeah.
And I've always thought like, we haven't really got a podcast like
that one-on-one really in it scene, yeah.
Which is predominantly UK based. But also it's showcasing what's happening in our scene. So big credit to you for
I appreciate that, bro.
putting this podcast out.
Appreciate that. It's just got to come and express yourself, innit? You know what I mean? Like I said, I say this all the time. A lot of people might see you do what you do in your arts and your crafts, but they don't know you as a person and what maybe your mental state is, what you're going through. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people I've met who are different from when on stage to when I'm speaking to them. You think,
absolutely,
how are you so quiet? Or how? But you know.
That
so
is true.
It's. I think, but that's the thing as well. At the same time, I've noticed. See, like in the techie world and stuff, and that they don't care about it. They don't care. See this? They don't care. Respect. They don't care about this.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I feel like us as our genre. You know how we are. We want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Like, we want to know what's good. Them not don't respectfully.
Really? That's interesting.
I think there's a whole different wave over there, man.
An appreciation maybe different.
They just obviously we party, but they party. They don't. When they're on the Sundays when this is coming out, they're off their nut hanging, doing not respectfully.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Doing their thing though.
Yeah,
right?
Us. I feel like the Sundays after I mess you and we just getting our Sunday dinner, we'll sit there and watch. You know what I mean? I try to attack it like that.
That's funny. That's about that. Because for a certain generation, which I am. People were doing that like 30 years ago.
Yeah, no, of course.
You know what I mean? So it's funny to see the cycle
of how it goes round and round.
And there was always an element like of the ones that go for it. And then there was the guys that Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, getting up, Sunday vibes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought, and that's how I tried to attack it at the same time. Like, man, I just wanted that vibes where it's like, all right, cool, innit? Sunday, we're just chilling off 6, 7 o'clock. You see who's on today, or you see like, but I feel like people pay more attention to the people who are more honest and real, and who are good people. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, you know, mix up and drama sells or whatever, but that's what I'm not trying to. I'm trying to do everything to avoid to go down that route to get where I'm trying to go to. Do you know what I mean? That's why I was even saying to you as well. I'm trying to get people, good people on who's contributed to the scene.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And people that are relatable, because I think people relate to realness. It's not, uncommon to hear a story of like someone that's really successful or famous, and to hear their backstory. And like when you hear like a footballer or a musician that's at the top of their career, and they talk about their career in a whole and how they was at the lowest point in their personal life, but at the highest point in their professional life. I think we're always trying to
get
that balance, because people sacrifice a lot to achieve, what they want to achieve, whether it's in music, whether it's in sport. You sacrifice a lot. And a lot of the time, the rewards aren't always immediate. The rewards aren't always clear to see. So you put so much of that in there that it can affect your mental health if you're not, in a real balanced place. Or support is very important as well.
100%.
Having the right people in your corner.
I think a lot of, obviously in the male sector, it's all mental health's gone up a lot. I think 1,000 by a lot as well.
I think I think it's just been more recognised now.
Yeah. 100%.
Like a lot of things now have been recognised more.
Too much,
and it's a good thing, because we're getting
depends though.
Absolutely. But with regard to like men's mental health, I think we're definitely it's been recognised a lot more now, as it should be. No coincidence that I think men have the highest suicide rate.
Yeah. I think. So, I feel like as well, they try to do the hard stuff where they don't want to say what's really going on.
Yeah.
I think that's a man thing though. I think that's just a man journey, what they go through.
Yeah, we've been tricked. We've all been tricked to think that's the man's journey, and the women's journey is this, and and the reality of it is no, because there's not a man on this earth that hasn't sat alone and cried for whatever reason.
Of course.
You might not talk about it with your brethren or your peers or whatever, but so it's important that we get a good balance.
Yeah. I think that brings out the best out in you as well.
Good people around you. Stay away from the negative stuff, which the point that you was making as well.
I feel like I feel like that changes the aspect in everything anyway. Even like music, you might do better at music, you might get better bookings, it might be. So it's like, it all pays ripple. Everything has a ripple effect in life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know we went off topic anyway, but I feel like sometimes, that's what I'm saying, man's deep like that.
But how can you not be? Because it's all connected.
Yeah,
it's all relative.
Of course. 100%.
We can't just have
just that and nothing, no build up and nothing.
And you're doing this and you're doing that. And okay, people see that, but really people want to relate to the person that they see on stage
100%.
Or hear on the mic.
100%. I ain't gonna lie, it's music, I feel, since I've been doing it, obviously I've been raving for years, obviously you're older, but I've been raving for years, but since I've been like talking to people the last 3 years, it's deeper than just like, all right, hi, it's Saturday, we're gonna post or DJ. I think it's really, we all are human.
We are human. And I tell you what, in my personal experience, is when you go from being a raver, which I've always been a raver anyway, to working in the industry, for me anyway, you view things slightly different. Like, for example, you're seeing so many different personalities in one place, so many vibes in one place. You got people off their head. You got people just look lost. I just see so many different kind of souls out there. Yeah,
it's crazy.
And I think one of the biggest things is I appreciate what I do, because, and I've got to big up CKP on this. One time we were talking on the road to Manchester, and he said to me, we're privileged to be able to do what we do and bring joy to people.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? People come out after a hard week. You might have had an argument with your partner. Whatever the case may be, you come out to these places to escape, but sometimes people are bringing it with them. You know what I mean? So So it's interesting perspective I see now, and I appreciate that people come out to really. People need it.
Yeah,
People need
therapy,
this,
innit?
man.
Therapy,
People
man.
need this escapism, and
Therapy.
we're blessed that we've got a culture that can provide that.
Yeah, it's definitely therapy. I feel like therapy comes in very different ways. You know what I mean?
So many.
I think music's definitely common.
Yeah.
You know, because like, how I know music's just really different. Music changed my mood. It changes my mood. The other day I was driving. I think, I don't know what I was listening to. Some nonsense has come on. I think it's that drill nonsense. I felt angry for like 10 minutes. I felt I felt like I was like 15 again.
It's different vibrations.
Then it's just changed. I don't know how the playlist has changed. It's just gone to some slow stuff. And I was like, I felt a bit like, okay. I thought, wow. Just like that.
It's true.
Just like that.
It's like there's loads of times coming back from gigs, and you might have been, I don't know, just say, for example, ministry, where it's been banging loud all night. And driving home, you want to hear some slow jams.
Yeah, it's something slow.
So it's almost like a warm down.
Yeah.
Like when you're in the gym working out, you do your thing, then you have your warm down. So again, that's the power of the music. It can just change your whole vibe.
No, that's what I love about it. But do you know what? Your journey, it's how did your journey start?
Well, my journey started a long time ago, believe it or not. What's interesting about that is like being and doing something for a long time and then moving into a different area of it, and being looked at as like the new guy to some degree.
Yeah, that's how it goes though, isn't it?
Yeah. But to me, that means that there's growth.
100%. That's what I was saying
And
to
you're
my
growing
just now.
into
100%.
different areas, and you're growing to different.
You're new to people. You're new to them people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So my journey started 20 odd years ago, probably even a little bit longer, just by chance, just by chance, because those times growing up, I was listening to a lot of pirate radio in East London. And obviously, I'm going to probably sound like an old man now, but this was like before internet times. So the energy and the vibe was different. It's like you'd hear people on radio, but never knew what they looked like.
Yeah, of course,
unless you was going to a rave, of course.
I've seen them, yeah.
So my journey was like a kind of just by fluke. Like I was playing in a Sunday football team. And imagine, the Ragga Twins.
Yeah.
Legendary drum and bass acts. Imagine it took me a whole year to realise that I'm playing in the same football team as them. Then one night I went to Astoria. And who do I see on stage? D-Man and Flinty. And then about 5-6 hours later, we're kicking ball over Hackney Marshes. So I was like, wow.
All that time,
So this is a thing. So growing up on pirate radio, and I loved MCs. I didn't DJ as a kid. I wasn't the kid that had the decks.
Yeah, me too.
I had other friends that had decks. So my thing was just a little bit of lyrics and stuff like that. But it really kind of kicked off when I got introduced to a friend of a friend, a guy called Johnny Rebel, a good friend of mine. I was going to his house because my brethren lived with him, and my brethren John was married to my brethren's sister.
Yeah, okay.
So I go and check him. So small talk. I knew he bought music. No, not even that, because we was up in the front room all these times when I came.
Just chilling off.
Just chilling. And one day, like I'm hearing him talk about music, and I goes, "Oh, you buy records?" And he goes, "Yeah." Then another time we went there, we went down into his bedroom. When I see like there was a cave of records down there, like I thought, "Oh, you're a DJ." And he went, no, I just buy records. I goes, "Bro, you're a DJ, man.
Bro, you got music."
Like I saw so much music down there. And at that time, we were listening to a lot of hip hop as well. So he was a main hip hop guy. And it really kind of started from me saying to him one day, "You got a mic?" And he says, "Yeah." And when I say this mic was like some kiddie Mattel mic, plastic mic.
Yeah.
And then we just started doing bars over instrumentals. And then that become like a regular thing. So there was other people that would come into this house on a Saturday night, like we're freestyling for 3-4 hours, 5 hours. My brother, MC Sunrise, he don't do music no more, but he was a super freestyler. Like when I say DJ's turning over next record, going in hard. He made some music as well back in the day. And then from then, Johnny, again, big up to him. He got an opportunity to do a radio show. And this is like early internet radio. So I was really part of that first wave of internet radio.
Okay.
Which was a weird time because pirate radio was still happening as well. So I'll be telling people I'm doing a show on the internet, and they go, on the internet? What do you mean on the internet? I go, there's radio on the internet. So that took a little while to
kick off, innit?
to catch on as well. And just being around guys like Johnny Rebel, another inspiration. Like, these are key guys in my journey. And another DJ called DJ Dapper. He was doing things on Rinse FM as well back in the day. Them two guys, they're like massive as DJs as well, because at that time I wasn't really DJing. I was around a lot of DJs and good DJs. So for me, that jump was like, you know what, I'm all right doing what I'm doing. And what we were doing was working, because they were boss DJs and I was hosting stroke semi-MCing. Yeah. Wasn't really mad on MCing, you know, funnily enough.
Same thing though. No.
Not really, no, because, and again, if we just fast forward a little bit more, there's a whole genre of MCs that have come out of this country. Like, it's just blown up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In a crazy way. And I love it.
Yeah,
I love
same.
it. I love it. I've always loved MCing. But for me personally, being around so many MCs, it was like, I'm not really an MC, but I can talk.
Oh, so you're more of a, so you're more that side of things. You're mainly a host.
Yeah, I'm a host. I'm comfortable with that totally, because I love being around MCs, like being around Fro.
Let them do their thing. Fire off. Yeah.
But you can't have fire the whole night. You got to have a little calmness in between, and you light it up again. So I was comfortable at that time, you know, just being a host in that kind of setting. You know?
How so? You must have one-liners though, all day.
Yeah, you got to have something. You got to have something. You got to have something. You know, you got to have something. Yeah, even if you're a host, you got to have a little
1, 2 just
bars
to
or something just
quickly
to drop.
Chop that up if you want.
If you want to. And you know, that's why like I big up Fro so much, because he's just he's a killer MC, man. And
he's definitely coming through, man. Definitely.
Of an MC, he's got the lyrics. He's got the bars, he's got the similes. He's technically like proper. Yeah. One of the best out there right now for me. There's a load of good guys out there as well, so don't come for me, yeah? you know how it goes in this thing as well, I only picked up one man, I didn't big up the others. But no, I'm just saying, and personally, Fro's a good guy as well. So, but just for an example, for me, why I thought that's what MCing is. And if you're not really going to go to those levels, for me personally, I'm good with what I can achieve in my own lane. I'm comfortable with that.
So you just can't. It's. I think at the minute as well in the scene, there's a lot of people coming through. There's a lot of hosts, MCs. I reckon.
Yeah. When you say coming through, though, when you say coming through, what do you mean by coming through?
I think the new wave. I think there's a new wave. You know, the whole new transition. I feel like every 3-4 years, there's a whole batch of new. Yeah. Host MC. I think it's a good thing. I like hearing new people. I like hearing new things in it, and I get bored easily. Do you know what I mean?
That's what we need, though, because we got to carry the baton on.
Yeah. Of course. But you know? This is where like I have to. There's a lot of people need to start respecting the generation where it's mainly where it's coming from, where it came from. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why people don't really like giving people flowers and stuff. I feel like that's where the thing gets a bit all weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you see, you know, I was thinking about this earlier today, you know, and I think what we have now in this country is we have generations of ravers now. We have eras of ravers now. And I think also with the internet, it's changed a lot of the dynamics with a lot of things now. Crazy. Because people want it now, you know. People, now. And you can do it now. You can blow now. You can get big now. But big now and longevity is two different things, you know. So I think people are so busy in trying to get themselves out there and up there in some level. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. So maybe like, that was before though, but like we're doing it now. But I think it's very important that we remember the generations before that, you know, laid the foundation, and not even just the foundation, because we're beyond foundation now. We're building steps.
It's a whole different.
We're
dynamics.
Building steps. It's not underground. Sorry, it's not underground no more. I hate that term underground now.
Yeah, far from that.
Because nothing's underground. What's underground now? The internet changed the underground. Everything came above surface when the internet came around, you know. So I don't know. I think over time people mature as well, and I think if you're really about your craft, you will know and look for the people that came before you, the influences. You know?
I was telling a couple of my friends as well. I was like, look, like you gotta definitely see me. I'm a kind of person like I'll listen to a lot of hosts, MCs. I work with motivation. Like I like motivation. I work with motivation. Like I like being motivated in it by like obviously people are different. Look at people differently. Like if I see what you do, and I like what you do.
Thank you.
I would. It's not that I would take it, but that's motivation for me. Yeah. You know what I mean? You might do something what I can't do, but I think, okay, cool. Well, I'll try and get near that. Not that I'm trying to be like that or copy that, but you know what I mean? It's a gem. It's a gem to me. It's a gem to me. Do you know what I mean? But
I think we shouldn't be scared to get influence.
Yeah, and I think people are.
And then that's more about an ego thing. Because if you can't look at another artist and go, wow, my man smashed it tonight, and how he smashed it was he dropped this bar at the right time, or the DJ dropped the tune at the right time, you can take something away from that and go, okay, so there's a lot of things in timing and people don't time things right. But when you get something spot on, that's what you see. So you take that and you say, okay, I'm going to work on my own timing, for example, for whatever it is that you're working on. Like, allow the egos, man. There's no time for that.
Yeah, that's not ever going to change, bro.
There's no time. But that's life. And
of course,
and we're always going to be battling with that. And I think in the main, it's probably a minority.
Yeah.
I think so.
You reckon?
In my experience, yeah.
No, but remember, you're around different. We're in different kind of. I feel like when you're around different people, aspects in life's different. That's how I look at things. You know what I mean? Obviously, you're around proper people, not to say they're not proper, but you're around.
I understand. Maybe of an age as well.
The older lot who who's been through thick and thin in the thing, so they're attacking it differently. When you're speaking to CK or all of them other people, Pascal, whatever, you get me? You're leveling through experience of 20 years.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
So the attitude can be a little bit
it's just going to be like, and you're always going to look at the solution to, you know what I mean? Like you know what I'm trying to say? You're always going to try and look at the way where you're trying to make sure things are right before anything else. They're going to, this generation now, they're just attacking it. Oh, what?
The thing is as well, that they are, but you know what's happening now? People are failing in public. People are failing miserably in public because everything's so instant. Some people are not ready.
Yeah.
Some people not. If you're serious about a craft, we're talking about a craft. You know?
Of course.
DJing is a craft. MC and hosting is a craft.
100%.
You don't just turn up and pick up the mic because people get found out.
Yeah, 100%.
So, you know, in many ways, and again, it's no one's real fault because we all got the same opportunities. Remember that as well. So if you're not a MC or a DJ that's played anywhere, you can just set up your own live and play to the world, no problem. But I just think, and again, this is probably from my generation where you didn't always see the graft that people were putting in before they presented something. But now you can just put out anything. And just attack it anyhow you want. And in some cases it works. You know, I'm not a hater on any kind of format that people choose to do. But yeah, like you said, like they're attacking it and they're coming out and there's a lot of good stuff that's coming out.
There's a lot of...
It's a different way for each generation has a different way of doing things. But I think if we look at what's the end product out of it, in a lot of cases, man, there's some great artists coming out.
I think as well, how I look at things, you need to have like one viral moment, and that just could be your make or break. You know, I've seen it a lot, and the last couple of years, that's what I've been seeing a lot. I feel like some people, I want to say, look, mate, I understand, I respect it. See me, I'm a respectful guy, you know what I mean? I'm just honest.
Yeah.
So I might respect it, but I'm a person, I like seeing someone just work for it.
Yeah.
But look, I give thanks for whatever, but I like workers. Yeah. I like seeing work. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
You're seeing a journey, you're seeing a progress.
Exactly.
You know, you can see someone start here and move to there. But again, we're living in an instant world now where a viral moment can change your whole life.
It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. But I think there's a lot of people who blood, sweat and tears who might have missed a date or something to go
Yep.
do that maybe an hour late, just pick up the pitney now, I can't see the pitney
Yeah.
for a month. You know what I mean? Just
yeah.
to try and
Real
like
life
you know the real life situations,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to and still there and still not had that one
opportunity.
thingy. You know what I mean? But look, I'm
The only thing like with these days, what not concerns me is just the longevity of people. You know, having a star moment is brilliant. Going viral for a moment is brilliant. But like, is it about the longevity after that? Because what do you do with that stardom afterwards? Is it just like I made my money and I'm off, or is it really about the craft, about this? I want to go and carry on and do more stuff. I come from a very kind of about the craft kind of aspect about this, man, and about people really working on their craft. And I love to see people getting better.
Yeah.
I love to see it like, okay,
Yeah, I see.
worked on that.
Yeah, you worked on that. Yeah.
wow, you sound better, or wow, your mixing's tighter now, or your selection is, and we're all on that journey. We're all on that growth journey. Trust me, everybody is. No one's reached the mountain. We might reach one mountain, but there's always a higher mountain to reach to. And that's what keeps us growing. That's what keeps us progressing. And that's how things evolve. We've got to keep it moving.
Yeah, 100%. I think there's always room for progression. There's no expiry date on that. You could have your day next couple of years, next that. It comes whenever it wants to come. And to me, life's like a circle up to an extent where it's like, cool, you might have it that year and it will come back round and it's you again.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. So it's like I listen to everyone at the same time. It's good. You know what I mean? At the same time, I listen to everyone, but there's a certain few hosts and a certain few MCs. You know what I mean? Obviously, I wanted to go down that route, so it's like I need to make sure whoever I'm listening to and whoever I'm like.
What kind of MCs do you like? What kind of style? Or
to be fair, well, if I had to say who I kind of like, who I speak to, and who I kind of like relays a lot is Gemini. I like Gemini's kind of
legend.
I like his crowd control is definitely what I like. He'll come down and chat and walk around the crowd. You know what I mean?
That's an example of someone that commands.
It's his show.
No, see Gemini. Gemini is not spitfiring lyrics at, blah blah blah. He's not doing that. It's just pure lyrics, pure vibes. And Gemini, because he's been around for such a long time, you know what you're getting with Gemini.
Yeah, 100%.
And again, away from that, a class guy, lovely guy.
Yeah, no,
lovely guy,
100%.
Lovely
You know what I
guy
mean?
as
So
well.
it's there's a look at the end of the day. I feel like I respect most hosts, MCs. You know what I mean? Anyway, do you know what I mean? You know, but I feel like the world we're in at the minute, not even the world. I feel like the sector we're in, hosts needs to get more recognition. I think mandatory. I feel like they should be mandatory to an extent.
Yeah.
I was saying to Zulu just now, picture just a rave, just no host. It could still go off.
What, with no host, no MCs at all, you mean?
Picture a rave. Tech raves do that, but that's our tech sound.
Yeah.
Picture our sound, what we're doing with no one.
So this is a really good point.
And I feel like that's not running.
But this is where there's like cultures within the culture. Because if we listen to, if you speak to like DJs or people in America that listen to house music, they don't really have MCs in the same way that we do.
Yeah, they
look at it like, what's this guy talking about? What's this guy talking about? And I remember seeing a video on YouTube. I'm not going to mention the name or anything, but it was a brilliant video. It was a good party. I was at the party myself, and when you look in the comments, people are saying, "Oh, this guy chatting on the mic all the time. What's that all about? What's that all about?" But then what you realise is different cultures have that. In the UK, that's our culture.
Yeah, that's arting. Yeah,
we have an MC. And, without getting too deep, that goes back to dancehall and reggae.
Yeah, 100%.
You know
reggae.
what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So
that's what the facts were saying.
That's our culture. So again, there's so many different
ways, aspects,
ways, and I've come across DJs that don't want MCs.
Yeah, same.
Or percussionists or drummers. They just want a DJ. They don't want all of that. You can do it outside of my set, but not on my set. But I think that's the connection.
Yeah, of course.
That's the connection.
Mandatory.
That's the human connection.
Mandatory.
Because the music's there playing, but who's connecting us with
mandatory.
the sound and with the vibe and creating that vibe, you know.
Because if we're in the dance floor and we're not looking at each other, we're looking at you. You know what I mean? So if you're vibing, you're letting off that vibe to us to vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've been in a situation where like I've got thrown in deep end straight away. Bow deep end. I was telling them, saying, "Oh yeah, man, I'm a host." Like, yeah, cool, come. I was thinking, all right, cool. Got there. Big field, big thingy. I'm thinking, I think I've only hosted in like Box Park before or something. Do you know what I mean? Big Max Barbecue.
Yeah.
Max Barbecue.
That's a big
in
event.
Kent. There was one in Kent in the Medway. But I was thinking, it's like, yeah, man, come. I'm thinking that they ain't gonna like put me on nothing like that. I'm probably gonna be like early doors, 12 where there's thingy. So I was like, in mind, I'm thinking, 12 o'clock. Have a little bottle of wine quickly. Got there. Thinking, wait. Wrist goes on. Wrist goes on. Thinking, here we go. Bang. Yeah, you're on next with Tabs. You know, it's like, you're next with Tabs. I thought, Tabs. So I've looked. I thought, oh my. But that's just like the levels of. I thought, okay, because I thought Box Park to that is intimate. I don't mind throwing about intimate. It's flowing or whatever.
Energy in it, man.
And I thought, oh my days. Got on the stage. It's like I couldn't move from behind the decks.
Why?
I don't know. And I thought, oh, what's going on there? It's like I'm thinking, and it's like I couldn't move. Risco was looking at me like, and I thought, oh, so this is the
craft.
Oh, so this ain't a joke.
This is learning the craft.
This ain't a joke. So I wanted to do it, but
Confidence.
I was thinking, you know what, I'm doing this, so I could host. And that day made me realize, these hosts are not. That's why I think from that day, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you. So like, because people be like, oh yeah, I'm DJing. Listen, you're down there DJing. You could be on the stage. You're down there DJing.
Yes, especially in a festival.
You're down there DJing. So he's up top. He's because we got both mics. He's over there. Then it's like he's coming all the way back there to give me the mic, and he's looking at me like. But it's like, I couldn't move. And afterwards, I thought, oh my days. And he called me. He's like, look, bro, if you're doing this, you got to, like, do you know what I mean?
That's what goes back to learning.
Learning your craft, innit? Do you know what I mean?
And that's in many ways, even no disrespect, but the guys that are not that great, but I've got the balls to go up in front of the crowd, I still respect them.
Of course.
Because to be able to do that and stand there and say something, and there's people looking at you, dead in the face,
crazy, innit?
And sometimes, like you might say something and get no response. That's always like an MC kind of thing where. Yeah,
that's their thing, really,
make some noise.
Oli. Like when there's
but
no, like,
oi.
That's what I'm scared to do that one, you know. Well,
you see,
that one there is 50-50. You don't catch that one, it's bad.
And again, you see, this is where the timing of it. And again, I hate to sound like an old head teacher, but this is where you learn your craft. I'm glad you shared that experience.
100%.
Because it just, you know, sometimes people take it for granted. Performers, artists, anything that you got to do in front of people, you are performing, you know. And like, you know, when you hear people say, oh, he's a wicked DJ, but he's so dry. Because that person is in the DJing, but you realise that as a performance in front of people, you got to show a little bit. You got to show.
It's deep. It's deep, man. It's deep.
Yeah, the crowd's looking for vibes, aren't they, man? But it works both ways, because if the crowd is vibing, it makes your job so much easier.
And that's the thing.
They're already lit. They're already in
so
the
they're on the one already, innit?
So let's just turn it up a little bit more.
Yeah, it's real, man. It's that. And I definitely, like I said, I realised that day, like, do you know what, man? Like, I take my hats off to host MCs, you know, because like I said, didn't it? Box Park all day of the week, like little intimates all day of the week. Everyone's mash up in it, you know. Like, them man are mash up already, but. You know, it's a different vibe. Everyone's like, I was just like, I thought, oh, wow, what's good?
Festivals are like, I love festivals. I love a festival. But it's because there's a lot of, well, at some parts of a festival, there's a lot of movement, isn't there?
It has little moments, and it's
trying to work out
what tent to go to, where, 100%.
Someone finds out the timetable of what DJs are, so and so at this time. And then what you'll find is like, people will be here at a certain time will come, there's a mad rush to the main stage,
100%,
or something like that. So even, you know, as an artist, you're dealing with I think that's me.
Oh, okay.
You're dealing with situations where, it was jam a minute ago, and now, I don't know. big DJs come
DJ
on, and it's like, whoa,
Bro, gone.
everyone's gone. But you still got to do your
Yeah,
thing
you do,
because
you
there's
do.
still people there that
Still
come to
here,
listen.
yeah, to see
and
what you're
there's people
saying.
come to
Yeah,
listen to you.
100%, man.
Sometimes we forget that. Well, I do sometimes. You know, I think sometimes I forget that. Oh, people actually
People
would
come
come out to listen.
Yeah, 100%.
You know,
People do.
You're just focused on trying to do the best thing that you can do. That you forget. Oh, actually, man's come here to.
Yeah, no, yeah. People come. You got a following. Yeah,
You
it's,
know, and I appreciate that. I appreciate it. You know what? I'm gonna send a big shout out to people as well. Anyone watching this that as you know, show me love throughout my journey as well. Because sometimes you can just be caught up in doing the grafts,
not forgetting everything else.
forgetting like, well, okay, people appreciate it. So, you know, the amount of times I go out and people, you know, just say big up. Love what you're doing, bro, and I appreciate that too. You know.
Yeah, that must mean a lot. That must motivate you even more to be like, do you know what? I'm because you are betting in people's lives. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, people therapy at the same time. You know, it's levels, isn't it? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like you could talk to people. So you know when you're sometimes you're DJing or you're talking and you're hosting or whatever. Sometimes you're talking to people. You know.
I think you know what, right? That I think during lockdown is when I kind of recognised that fact. And it was like after lockdown when we're all back out again and meeting people for the first time, because for a good couple of years, you know, we were just a face on someone's phone or in their front room. Now we're back out meeting people face to face. And I met so many people that said, I don't know what, during lockdown, you know, you held us down and kept us motivated, kept the vibes going. And I think that was the biggest thing that kind of made me think, well, that's powerful. You're really impacting people in a personal way, where people are like saying, I was feeling such and such a way on that day, and you know, I come on to you guys' show and my vibe just changed. So it's motivating. And also, one of the biggest things is you realise what you do is enough. You ain't got to be no one else.
Yeah, 100%.
Just do you. Because when you're doing you and you get love for being yourself, your authentic self, and doing what you think should be done in the way you think it should be done, and you do it, and you get love for doing that, there's no better feeling. Because you're not trying to be like no one else. You're not trying to, you know, we get inspiration from others, of course. But when you set up something and you do it and you execute it and you get love from doing that, you think,
yeah, proper. I'm doing the
right path here. I'm doing my thing, and I'm gonna just grow with that, and you know, grow it as still the wheels fall off whenever that day comes.
When it comes, God forbid, boy, keep going, just keep going.
Things change. Things can change in an instant, man. You know?
Things change, but I think there's still a foundation in each department. If that's what if I'm saying the right thing properly, do you know what I mean? There's still a foundation in each department. Like you said, obviously there's transitions, but there's still levels of what's what and what's not. You know what I mean? There's I won't say there's tears. I won't say there's whatever, but
well, there's definitely levels.
Yeah.
There's definitely levels, and you need the levels because we're all trying to make this thing greater. We're all trying to contribute to this scene, to this movement in the best way possible. So we only want the best, and there's nothing wrong with having tears, because when you have tears, you have growth. You know, you might start here, you can grow up to there, you can grow up to there, and you can grow on beyond for where, you know, the standard might be set. Nothing's cast in stone. Every rule, every record is there to be broken. And it's just for us as individuals to go ahead and do it.
Just hit it up. It's doable. People are doing it. People are
more than doing it. It's a great thing to see. When you know, discard the rubbish and the nonsense, which is just part of life stuff anyway, you know, there's a lot of the scene's growing. And, you know, even up to Soul Sessions party at Christmas there, just gone.
What, was it the 27th?
27th, yeah, the eve before the eve, they called. Big shout out to Marcel, Tony and Lloyd, and all of the team, actually. Great party. Ministry was roadblock. Good vibes in there all night. And then I hear Originals is on at the same time.
I was just saying that to Dark,
I hear same thing. Good vibes.
Both rammed.
And I thought to myself, look at that.
I said the same thing to him, just now.
Two big brands.
Same day, both
on the
rammed.
same night, and both there's enough for everybody.
Same thing I said to him.
You know
Same
what I
thing I
mean?
just said to him, you know.
That there, I mean, I don't know. I mean, to some people, they might not see it as anything, but like for me, I'm looking at the scene, and rather than the scene being divided, we don't need to divide it. There's choices.
Yeah, I think,
Certain people will go to that party. There's so much to go around.
Spare
for
ravers.
everybody.
Because I think there was even another like 1 or 2 on as well that day as well. And that was rammed as well. Do you know what I mean? I think Annie Mills had something on that day as well.
See, so
and someone else, you know what I mean? So
going at it, you know?
it's enough ravers for everyone. You know how it goes though. Anyway, that part of the scene is just whatever that is, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? What I've noticed, it's a competition or whatever they want to say it is, which is fine. Do you know what I mean? But there's still enough ravers going around.
There's enough. And like, it's funny though, because I mean, I like competition. Competition is good because it brings out the best in you. As long as it's healthy competition, that is, you know. But really, when you're competing, I think, you know what, the biggest thing to compete with is yourself. Really and truly. Because if we've got 2 big parties going on at the same time, right? And they're both doing well and they're both enough people in them, both of those people are doing their thing independently enough to hold their own. You know what I mean? So it doesn't necessarily have to be a competition against each other because it's clearly shown that there's enough for you and there's enough for them. So everyone can carry on working.
Yeah, it's just everyone has their own, like I said, everyone has their own niche. Me, I just want everyone to just do their thing. I feel like from the scene, kind of, that's the word they love using, the scene. I think it's becoming, I feel like it's more, I'm starting to see a bit of a unity now though.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just me, but I'm starting to see a bit of everyone coming together.
Yeah.
Maybe not as bait as we might think. Remember, a lot of things are going on behind closed doors, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of collab events going on, what I've noticed, you know what I mean? So that's a start.
And that makes sense.
That's a start.
That makes sense, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If imagine, for example, we could get a tent. Mm-hmm. We could get a field to put everyone's event in there, innit? Because you have your own event, innit?
No.
Okay.
No, events is not something that I've really gone into.
Okay.
As yet. No, I don't think, I don't know, man. That's a lot of, I respect those guys so much.
Oh, so you wouldn't go down that avenue, no?
Not at this moment, no, I don't think so. I love the music side of it too much to get involved in the whole organising and, you know, the whole politics that comes with. So I do respect the promoters that do go to that trouble and put on great events as well. And the small promoters as well that put on good parties. It's not just big parties that are good parties.
Yeah, intimate is good, you
There's
know. I
nice
like
small
intimate.
little parties
80
going
people,
on.
100 people, little intimate
absolutely.
vibes.
And again, because there's enough for everyone, you can build your own small intimate party.
Yeah, easily.
Your party is only 80 people every time. I'm not looking to get 500, 1,000.
In a small venue, that's packed out, man. It's ram.
You see what I mean?
It's ram. Right cameraman's more ram. You know what I mean?
All about the cameraman,
yeah,
right?
Cameraman
I've seen
is
some empty parties look so packed out.
Yeah, you just catch the angles.
But again, you know, it is what it is, isn't it?
Nah,
if you're promoting, that's what you want. You want to show your best bits, right?
Of course. Nah, it's it, man. This journey, obviously, my short journey has been eventful. I know you've probably seen everything, every aspect, heard that. Like,
not really heard. You know that. I'm not really I'm not really.
That's good though.
I don't really.
That's good though.
You know what's funny when you go out and people like come to you and want to tell you things, and I don't have a clue what they're talking
That's
about.
That's good though. That's good.
Have you heard so and so? I'm like, who?
That's good because there's a lot of people like that who will be like, oh yeah, well, that's good though.
I do my own research and I'm just not that guy. I'm like this with like Netflix and things like that. You know, everyone will rush to go and see a show.
I'm like that as well.
I'm like the last person.
Yeah, I'm like that as well.
So
I'll probably
the other
watch
day, I watched what's that series with the chemistry teacher that does the Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. Still ain't seen
Only the other day I watched Breaking Bad.
Still ain't seen it.
So I'm not really up on that. You know what I mean?
You're not a follower. Of course.
I just come across your podcast through Insta, and I just followed. I said, brilliant, man. This guy's doing good things, man. Getting people out, and it's nice that people get to know a little bit about you as well as just you're not just a DJ.
That's what I'm saying.
You're not just an MC.
That's what I tell them. You got to talk, man.
Most of us got jobs still. You know what I
Trust
mean?
me,
I'm just keeping it real. Like there's no pretense, you know. So we need that opportunity sometimes just to say like, yeah, we're doing this thing, but we got real lives too, you know, responsibilities, and you know, it's a joy and a blessing to be able to do something like that.
It's a weird one because some DJs, I'll be like, they'll be like, oh, I don't know, man, I'm a bit nervous. And look, mate, you DJ in front of thousands of people, hundreds of people, and you don't want to have a one-on-one chat. No, there's no pressure. I'm thinking you don't want to have a one-on-one chat, and you DJ in front of hundreds of people for the last 10 years, and you don't want a one-on-one chat.
Yeah, but it's not for everyone though, you know.
Yeah,
it's
no,
not
of course.
Some people are like, I don't know. You look at Michael Jackson, like world superstar, greatest pop star in my eyes ever. And if you see him in an interview, he's just so, you know,
just like, yeah.
So it's different parts of people's personality. Like some people scared to even say hello on the mic even.
Yeah, that's
Put
mad.
a mic and I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. But yet you're chatting bars in the rave the whole night.
It's mad, bro.
You get on the mic like, no, I'm not good. But yeah, I think it's just personalities sometimes, isn't it? People are not, well, you can coerce them a little bit. I think it's a lot to do with the person that's doing the podcast.
The podcast as well, yeah. I think
you guys have a responsibility as well and this is where, you know, to try and get that information, try and get people to talk. It's a hard skill to
100%, man. I think.
But of course, you got to have a buy-in from the guest as well. You can't just like, I've got these great questions, and man's on. Yes,
no, I don't. That's the first thing. See, I don't write nothing down. See, when I first started, obviously I'm trying to catch the angles of how to attack it. So sometimes I'll come. If you see the first ones, I used to have a big laptop, then I've moved to like an iPad. You know what I mean? So it's like, then I realized, nah, man, you gotta. If you're naturally interested in that person, how I do it. If I'm naturally interested in you, I don't need to have nothing written down.
Yeah,
because this is going to be a natural conversation.
Yeah,
it's just going to be. But my key is comfortability.
Yeah.
If you're not comfy. I would know straight away. I've had a couple people here, I know in the first 5, cool. Well, you're not comfy. I need to get you comfy.
Yeah.
So we're going to run off. We're going to maybe start on things that make you happy. Then hopefully that will open you up. Then sometimes I notice the slouch. You're going back now. So I know, yeah, cool. So I'm pre-ing the thing. You're all right now. So now you slouch back now. Do you know what I mean? Then it's like, so it's I hear what you're saying, there's bare different angles of how to attack it. Do you know what I mean? But
not everyone's a natural talker. I noticed that.
Yeah.
You know, there's always like, even if you have a bunch of friends, there's always a quieter one.
Yeah,
and there's one that don't shut up. And then, you know, and in between those two, there's
just that one there throwing his 2 pence.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's out of my batch of friends, I'm just the guy just on the banter.
Yeah.
So I'm just the guy who just laughs. I'm just the laugher.
Yeah.
Like, and I might just extend the laugh 2 more minutes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, even when it's done, I might just
Drag it out a bit.
or I might be up later. Yeah, no, that was mad though, isn't it? Then we might go again, but
yeah, I love banter in my friendships. And
you have to.
Sometimes I'm like disappointed when I don't get no banter back.
Yeah,
like, come on, bro. You gotta give me something, man.
You saw what I just done
Tell
there.
me something. Like, I just dissed you. Like, tell me.
Yeah, of course. It's yeah, man. I think I just want to see everyone just together and happy, man. I want to see there's a lot of things I really want to see in it at the minute, you know.
What would you like to see?
A lot of the respectfully older lot in the scene. I feel like they're a lot of opinionated, the older guys. I think a lot of I'm just gonna be real. Yeah? I think a lot of I keep saying older guys are more stuck in their ways. Which is understandable. You've got 10 years plus on the new lot. I get it, but I feel like times have changed, like we've said. You know.
I got this. Can I just touch on your point? Sorry to cut you, but it's a valid point.
It's fine.
I've got this thing what I call the 30-year-old DJ, right? And the 30-year-old DJ is the guy that's been DJing for 30 years. When it was vinyl, when before CDJs, before USBs, blah 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 blah. There's certain man, I respect their craft because DJing on vinyl is a skill in itself, but you know we've got to progress.
Yeah, 100%.
So the scene don't belong to one particular generation. Okay, a certain generation might have been, you know, the forefathers at the foundation of it, but how do you keep it moving? You got to pass the baton on. You know what I mean? And things change along. You know, I mean, like there's always this debate about vinyl DJs and you know, digital DJs, and no one really cares if you're on a dance floor It's like saying, oh, because we cook on a gas fire now, we're not cooking because we're not cooking on wood fire or rubbing two stones together.
Yeah, of course.
No, but I get that though. I do get that. But I think sometimes people are a little bit. I can't find the word right now. It's like an older person looking at a younger person with their youth and feeling like, look at you with your youth, and look at me with my old self. And I think it's a bit unhealthy, really.
I think as well. What I've noticed, they demand respect more than
the elders.
Yeah, I think the ones. Yeah, like not all of them, obviously, but when I do bump into one like that, it's a thing where like, oh, I know it all, innit? Yeah, how could you not respect what I've done? Yeah. Look what I've pathed away. Do you know what? Maybe, yeah, no, I'm 50-50 about that kind of mentality to have, because a weak-minded person who's come through would submit to that and might not even progress because they're thinking, cool, well, I'm under him. No. Like, if you're a good-hearted man, you would pass on your gems to that person. You would try and let them go through the route that maybe you might have went through when you was younger to maybe even be somewhere different, not to say better position, but and I feel like that's another thing where I feel like it kind of gets a bit clouded where some people, I won't say gatekeepers, but I think that's just be direct in it. I think like that's maybe the easiest way for me to say
but
it.
You got to remember this as well, though. For some of the elders in this scene, a lot of them are trying to stay relevant.
Yeah,
because you've been around for such a long time, and trying to keep up and stay relevant as well. So, I mean, it's funny you should say that. I met a guy a few months ago, and he's a legendary DJ in his own right. But this is the first time I've ever met him. And within the first 10 minutes, he's told me about every DJ that he's worked with from back in the 80s, back in the 90s, when he was out in New York, when he was here, when he was there. It was just too much of an overload. And I just thought to myself, now, because I'm of a similar age to him, and I do know his history as well, so he wasn't talking rubbish or anything, but it was just the way he was just putting it on, and I was just like, nah, that ain't the way, bro. That ain't the way. If you have this vast amount of history, you should share it in a way that's
in a positive way, what could make you motivate
rather
you
than it coming across like you're bragging.
And that's what would, sorry to cut you down. Yeah. And that's where maybe you might look at that and think, I'm not doing it good enough. I'm not doing enough. Because some people look at it like that, Me overloading you with what I've done in the last 10 might make me look at someone and think, oh boy,
I'm nowhere near that.
Oh, it doesn't even make sense.
But if you're sharing what you've done in a positive way and saying, this is what helped me on my journey, this is what I did, and I was fortunate to meet this person, then you're explaining something in a totally different way rather than look at me, because nobody wants to hear that.
I just think
I find it just off-putting.
Can't help it. He couldn't help it. He couldn't help himself. Like you said, if he was doing it in maybe a positive or a better way, maybe he's like, all right, cool, yeah, all right. But if you're like, I've done that,
I'm just that person in every aspect of my life. I mean, personally, myself, I'm not a braggadocious person. There might be a reason why I could be. It just doesn't sit well with me. Yeah. I'd rather share what I've achieved in a more positive way and say, do what you're doing. This is what happened to me. Doesn't mean it will happen for everybody, because you can share advice. It might not happen the same way.
100%.
But again, there's no, like we were saying earlier, there's no crime in getting influence from others to enhance your own thing.
I think most things what go on is by influence anyway. If you think about the way of life anyway, innit? Because to an extent, you've seen something which has maybe inspired you to do that anyway. Right. So it's like, it's just, if you break down the way of life and how everything connects, I feel like you'll get a better understanding to a lot of things, you know what I mean? But I think that's where a lot of people are disconnected. I think they don't want to. I think a lot of people are in a bubble. It's very easy to be in a bubble. It's very easy.
It is very easy.
It's one of the easiest things to do is be in a bubble. Do you know what I mean? So
it's almost like a really negative comfort zone. People talk about a comfort zone, but a pig in a pigsty, that's a comfort zone. A pig in its own mess is a comfort zone. So you can create whatever comfort zone you want, and they're not always healthy. you sitting in your yard all day not doing nothing because it's comfortable, you're not going to achieve nothing in your life. So we've got to step out of the comfort zone. And I think your comfort zone changes.
Yeah, 100%.
It changes.
100%.
Because just say, for example, you don't go to the gym at all for any exercise. Then you start going to the gym now regularly. Now you can't stop going to the gym now because you've created this new comfort zone for yourself now, and you're comfortable there. And then, you know, of course, but you always want to progress. So, you know, it's just human nature.
Yeah, it's
just human nature.
Yeah, man, life is just life. And I feel like, obviously, it's crazy. Like, you with life, things attack you different. Like, what I'm trying to say is, like, within the last 4 or 5 years, I've started to realize life.
Maybe you're getting older, bro.
Yeah, and I'm starting to realize, raw, like, is this life? Because I've had fun for the last, like, before that, I've been going in for like 10, 15. But it's like, now I'm realizing, raw, like, what was I doing 10 years ago? Wow. Like,
Yeah, but again, it's all about growth, isn't it, man?
Yeah,
We have to
100%.
keep growing. And whether it's in your professional life, your personal life, you know, it's good that you can look back and see where you was 5, 10 years ago. Even some of the things that you were doing. Sometimes I look at things that I was doing in my youth and just laugh at myself. And I was a good kid growing up. I weren't really a bad kid or nothing like that. But, you know, just little mischievous things. Mum, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. But it just shows you that you grow from, like, you know, a boy into a teenager, into a young man, into a full grown man with responsibilities. And, you know, being in music and stuff like that is very similar.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Life imitating art imitating life. It's not that far apart.
100%.
You know,
because that makes you, innit? Even like your own sound is you. Like, it's crazy. Sometimes I've heard people, whatever, I know, that's, and I ain't even seen him yet, or thinking, I know that's that person, or that's that person. So
and you know what? It's a good point that you've made there, because especially with like singing or MCing or hosting, even DJing to a certain point, when you find your voice. Because sometimes, you know, when you're starting out something, you ain't found your voice yet. And then one day, something just clicks into place.
And you think, I've caught that angle.
Then you're like, wow, that's me. So now you've got something to start from. Now you got something to grow on.
You know, even that's even good that you're touching that. Even having a voice when you're on the mic is different. Like, it's like you have to it's like some people, like, how can I even word it? Like, I thought you could just have the mic and just say what you're saying. It's like you have to catch it at an angle or something, and you have to kind of like. I didn't even know all of that. I thought you could just like start thinking like, I'm thinking, what does that sound like that?
Yeah, it's a different tone. That's why, like, and again, I'm going to big up Fro for this. The cadence of voice on the mic, you know, you got to have that. It's a bit like Method Man. The rapper Method Man, he's always had a cadence in his voice, and that's why I loved his. All rappers, MCs have a certain tone to their voice.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it's all different. There's no right or wrong. But yeah, you have to. What's the word? You have to. I've forgotten the word now, but you have to like propel your voice.
Yeah, I literally even that way. I didn't even know. I just thought that you could jump on it, and I thought. Then I remember, I can't remember where I was. I know you. I think you used that same. Whose party was that in Trent House that time?
Yes, I remember. That was a sun. You know, do you remember? I don't know if I'm going to bring your mind back to that day. That was Prestige Project Party.
Yes.
But that was the day that the snow came.
Yeah. That day, mad. I couldn't even get out of the area.
It took us about, I don't know, 3-4 hours to get back from Trent Park to East London.
Mad. Yeah, it took us time as well.
Crazy.
Time.
But you learn, you know, even like, you know, about mics.
Yeah, I didn't know. It's deeper than that. Yeah.
Holding certain mics certain way. And that's why it's good to have good peers.
But even that day, when you lot come on and that, I was thinking, how's the mic just like this all of a sudden? I was thinking, when I had it, was it broke? Like, but when everyone, you lot took over the thing, it was just sounding clean. And I thought, what am I doing wrong here then? I think what's going on there?
But again, it's craft, bro. I keep going back to it. We're going to call this the craft podcast.
The craft, yeah.
But it's about learning your craft.
Going on?
And again, I've got a big up. I mean, I've been blessed to work with some amazing people, real legends in their fields. You know, people like CKP, Fro I mentioned already, legends, the Godfather. You know what I mean? Real professionals at work, and you're always learning, just being on site with them and seeing, and you just see how natural it is.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well.
But again,
the
that comes
naturalness
over
of craft.
that comes
Years
over
of
time,
craft.
and like you know, like I call CK Mr. Energy Man, because he could just be literally just standing there 1 second, just giving the mic and
Yeah.
100 miles an hour. Easy.
100 miles per hour. Easy, innit? Yeah, I've got him coming on as well. I've got him coming
all
on.
night. Man can chat all
Yeah,
night.
I'm looking forward to that interview as well.
And even on the flip side, Snoops.
Yeah, I don't really know too much. I've been seeing
another
him.
legend in the business.
Oh, is he?
man.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
man,
I'm gonna give
trust
him a
me.
look in. I don't know
See,
about him, you know.
Snoops could hold down a party for days.
Okay,
Another one I call him Mr. Marathon Man.
okay.
But you see now, look at the two varied styles there. You've got the energy from CK bars, lyrics. Then you've got Snoops. He's like an anchor. Snoops is holding down the dance the whole night. Similar to like Gemini in many ways as well. And they're not. He's not really firing lyrics. He's just got vocabulary. He's got words.
So what about you? What are you saying? What would you? How would you throw yourself out there?
I'm a vibes man, really. You know, I just want to bring up your vibe.
Yeah.
I just want to uplift your vibes. I'm not really a man that's going to light up the place like CKP does. There's man that do. There's man for that already. You know what I mean? So I'm really just keeping a connection with the crowd, really, just vibing. I like to look at people while I'm talking, you know, so you can see, you know, people's reaction. You're connecting with people, really. And quite simply, that's it. I'm a host. I can DJ as well, and I DJ as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I see myself more on the sides of like, definitely a host, not an MC. Not an MC. And I'm cool with it.
Well, definitely a big difference you're saying, yeah?
There can be, but it's in each setting, isn't it? Really, because
to be
sometimes you
fair.
don't want to hear MC all night. You know, you really don't want to hear MC all night, or MC chatting over lyrics. And again, this is people knowing when to come in, when not to come in, and
Another thing as well.
Things like
Another
that.
thing as well.
You know, some real basic stuff, but you get the basics right, and everything
Then
else
the
will
thing,
follow.
exactly that. I
You
think
know?
I was trying to MC over some lyrics, some harmonies, and like, someone was looking at me like, bro, and I looked at it. I
That's
thought,
blasphemy. That's blasphemy. Bro. Any MC worth their salt, or host is not going to be chatting over like the vocals.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're doing a thing where like the vocals are broken up.
Yeah, like a little
And
chop
you're
up,
dropping in
throwing it
between
into
and-
the little cutters,
and you're working with the song.
Yeah, yeah,
Remember,
cool,
you're
cool,
working
cool.
with the
Work with the song, innit? Yeah,
You're not
yeah.
working on your own thing. You're working with the music. You know, that the DJ's playing as well. You know.
There's more to it, man. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm getting as much host MCs in because it's more to. It's way more to what we see, guys. There's way more, guys. Way more.
There's so many different kind of different styles as well. You know, but I think certain types of crowds appreciate hosts more than MCs, and certain crowds prefer MCs over hosts. Some people might think hosting is boring. You know, he's not really saying that, and he's just doing this and doing that. Or people like want the energy. So it's really putting the right people in the right places.
Yeah, 100%.
You know? And then because you know, it's like putting Louis Vega at a dancehall event. Like, we're going to think, who's this guy? That's Big Louis Vega, but he's in the wrong place.
Yeah, it's in the wrong place, of course.
So, and a lot of the time with rave, that's where things don't quite match up sometimes. You're getting the blend of your artists not quite balanced.
Okay, so do you think, I didn't really think about that, do you think, so you can't even put any host with any DJ? Do you reckon you have to be particular with who you, or do you don't really matter, it's just depending on the host's style, if he's versatile
Some
enough?
hosts can host on anything. Like, I think, like the guys that I've mentioned, and big respect to the other guys that I haven't mentioned as well. There's a whole barrage of people that I could mention that do great things as well. Yeah, you get some that can juggle on anything, really. You get MCs that can host as well, remember. They don't even have to drop no bars. You can just host the whole night as well. And I think that's when you can do both, then that's the key. That's the overall package.
That's the overall package, isn't it? So you're more open to even more stuff.
Can do, you know, and you know, it's not even limited just to house music, because people have been emceeing and hosting on sound systems from
early.
from a long time. Rare Grooves, man, got lyrics on, obviously reggae, soul, whatever.
Cool.
The history of it all, what I mean, it's fascinating. And just to see now we've got MCs that are like literally artists in themselves. If you look at say like Terminal 4, like he's like an actor in himself.
Yeah, of course.
His performance is phenomenal.
Definitely a show.
And people
Definitely,
come out,
definitely.
just to see that. So big up to him as well, man. So again, it's so many different fragments, if you like, flavors, different vibes, if you want, and it's really just down to what you like. And I think from a healthy perspective, it's generally very good right now. Yeah,
I think host is the thing at the minute, man. I can't keep stressing it more that.
So are you gonna do any more hosting?
This year I'm back outside.
Good.
Yeah, back outside. I should see how it goes again. I'm trying to give it another little test run.
Yeah.
Like I said, that last time I was out, I done about 10, 15 little, about 10. I don't know if you heard of Recess.
Yes.
I done a Recess in Carnival.
Good.
In the Red Bull stage. I'm saying like even through the deep end. That's when I think from that I should have. That was because I got messages from loads of people, like for example, Cold Step. Then was like, look, Bear, like from then I feel I should have kept it thingying. Things were coming through afterwards. But that one there came out from behind the thingy. I was walking around the whole stage, whatever, you know what I mean? So I thought, wow, okay, that went hard,
Just the fear thing.
So now it's just figuring out when to come in and out of the tunes now, innit? Because certain times I reckon I didn't need to do nothing or say anything or throw in a little bar or two, do you know what I mean?
See, let me just stop you right there. That is another key thing. Knowing when to shut your mouth. You don't need to do nothing. You don't need to say anything. The music's doing it all.
Exactly.
Look at the crowd. The crowd is singing. They're doing their own thing. You don't need to say nothing. You just
literally. Caught that. Maybe I could have done a 1-2 step more.
Okay. Yeah.
Done a little thingies, but I'm still walking about.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that went all right. I had a couple other things after that. Squalities things, but I had Risco's birthday. That was all right.
Okay, cool. Nice party.
Linden Hall. That was all right. I had a couple things going. And it's just like, I think it was so sad, yeah. I never even ever spoke to no one about this. It's like, it started getting political. I started getting in little, and I thought, but that's the thing. See, I'm a man, yeah. I'm an energy man straight away anyway. So as soon as I start feeling things getting all thingy, that's when I thought, I'm doing too much now.
It kind of comes with a territory sometimes.
So I'm doing, not that I'm doing too much as trying to progress. I'm doing too much as maybe networking. You might be you're doing it wrong now, because maybe I was attacking it neatly where I was stepping in, stepping out, then I started in, then all of a sudden, he's with him all the time. No, I wasn't even trying to do that. I was just trying to come, do my needs. So I think that kind of not scared me away, but that made me realise, look, man, if you want to keep your mental state nice and cool, because I'm an overthinker anyway, in general. In general. So already, imagine what I'm going on in my head. So I thought, cool, innit? I come first regardless, you know what I mean? So I thought, you know what? Tried it, had a nice run. I'm going to chill for the rest of the year, get everything sorted, back again. We're in January.
See,
you know what I mean?
So what you have there now is your experience in the politics of the game now.
Yeah, and I'm not.
And there's always politics in every game.
Yeah, no, of course. It's mandatory, isn't it?
You can always try and navigate your way around it the best that you can, but there's always a point where, whether it's a minor thing, even that you can come across that.
It wasn't. Respectfully, this to me, what we're doing now, this has been 3 years, 4 years. This is a restart for me. You know what I mean? It's a second chance for me, innit? Because away from this, no one doesn't know me, innit? Then I'm trying to say, what's going on over there, or what's happened over there. So in my head, this is a whole new restart. I've got given a second chance, thank God.
Yeah, thank
and
God.
I've met a lot of good people along the way. So I felt that stuff making me making me like that again. So I thought, I'm thinking, you know what? Like, because situations happened where it nearly got like that. You know what I mean? I've went there, everything behind. Like, no one, bare people don't know about it. I've went there, behind the there, everything. And I thought, bro,
that's not what it's
what's
about.
going on?
Yeah.
And that day was the last day, and I thought, you know what, bro, just go and chill off. Literally, my timing, got in my car, thingy, jumped in there, went in there, got in. You know what I mean? Like, what's happening? Went behind the thingy. No one was stopping me.
Okay.
Not even on a bad man thing.
No,
respectfully.
but
nobody wasn't stopping me because clearly I got there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've got there, up in there. What's going on? Nothing's going on. You sure nothing's going on? Everyone's like, but it's like I've all shut off to man's behind the decks. Thousands, Pop Brixton. There's about 500 people.
Yeah.
Like even when I've come back out, everyone like people's like, bro, like I'm getting phone calls like, what happened? What's going on? But it's like I've even forgot that I've got about 500 people watching, and then I realised, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? Then that's the day, and I thought, you know what? Yeah, I had to just thought, I'm giving this the next.
It shouldn't. Things shouldn't get to.
But that's what I'm saying. It's
kind of levels.
And I was pissed it got like that, but I was upset.
But it just shows a lot of things behind scenes that artists are going through.
Yeah, I know.
And I guess it really it's kind of telling of how badly you want to do something, or what you can manage or what you can't manage, because it's no shame if you can't manage something to walk away from it. That's the most sensible thing anyone can do. If something is making you behave a certain way or feel a certain way, you have to remove that.
What's going on? I'm thinking,
you have to remove that, or remove yourself from
remove
that.
Myself. I'm thinking, I'm not like, I'm not. It's not me. Like, but everyone has that moment. But mate, nah, you don't know me from Adam. Like, especially like, don't like no.
That's another thing though with social media. People do think they know you,
bro. Like, and literally,
people do think that they actually do know you.
And I'm thinking, and I was literally, I'm driving there, and I'm thinking, bruv, it's like I'm just telling myself, bro, what are you doing? But it's like my pride's gone now. I'm gone.
Okay.
This is where Capricorn's in it. I don't know, but my pride is a lot.
We get passionate. Yeah, we're very passionate.
I'm a passionate person, innit? But I'm just thinking, not me. Like, you're not doing that with me. Then, like I said, obviously all that's happened. And when I've left, then I started getting the calls. They're like, bro, what's going on there? Like, what are you doing? Someone
People
was like,
not expecting that.
Someone was like, it was like, bro, like, you know how it looked from over the fence? It looked wild. And I'm thinking, huh? And this guy is a proper like, I look up to him, I just want to throw names out, you know what I mean? But he was there. And he's called me like, mate, you know what I saw there just looked mental. And I'm thinking,
that's next week's passer, bruv.
Yeah, and it was, and I'm getting calls from thinking, what happened? And I'm thinking, nah, see, you're gone. You've just basically gone in there and shut the door behind you to be a part of that nonsense. So I thought, you know what? That day, I said, look, it's about 7 months left of the year. You know what I mean? I'm just going to do this. I ain't going to no raves no more. I'm not
really like that.
Yeah, I just shut it down. I thought, I'm not going to no raves no more. Just chilling. I'm just chilling off. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry to hear that, bro.
Chilled off. Back like I never left. Normal. Don't get twisted. It didn't kill me or nothing.
No,
but I just
of course, it's not that deep.
Like, it's getting all. It's getting all weird now.
It's getting
you know what I mean? I'm retired. You know what I mean? Respectfully, it's getting all weird. I'm not on all of that stuff.
But you know what, right? You have to remove yourself away from certain things in this thing. If you know things ain't working in a way that is conducive to what you feel and what you think is right, you're being treated a certain way, then that's the best thing to do. Remove yourself and carry on in your own path, in your own way. That's the best thing that you can do.
It's because it
ain't that deep. It ain't really worth it.
I'm saying. It's not that deep, and not even in a rude way, disrespectful way. I'm definitely coming out on top. Do you know what I mean? So it's like.
And then what, though?
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. Then what?
And then what? Then?
So I thought, nah, you know what? I'm cool. Like, this is still running. So it's just me just not being seen like that. Do you know what I mean? Look, man, you could speak to 1,000 people. I keep it thorough and keep it straight, innit? Like, nothing's like left. So anytime I feel left, I get all like, I can't.
You know what it is? when you put out good vibes, or you carry yourself in a certain way and it's not reciprocated, it don't come back to you in that way.
Yeah, I feel
kind of puts your nose out of joint a little bit. Like, what is that all about?
And
so at that point, that's when you have to just.
And the thing's about when you have nothing to do, and what killed me, man had nothing to do with nothing. I don't even know how even names got through in there. You know, so I'm thinking, huh?
People talk a lot, man.
Talking about
there's people that just talk because they want to talk.
Just talk to talk. You know what I mean? But the thing's about it, that person, no one deals with him just because he talks now. You know them deep ones. You know that them. And I've seen what's the word? You know when you see somebody just fall and fall and fall and fall and fall and fall. And I've sat here and saw the whole journey and I think, look, just because you want to talk, you've been taking off a lot of big things, no one dealing with you because you want to talk.
Exactly.
It's silly,
and that's why it's not even worth getting into it with people like that, because there's bigger forces out there that are looking after people. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, no, of course,
you know what I mean?
You know, so.
But in the moment, I get it though. You know, if you feel a certain way, you know, it's only natural that you want to
you think it like that. You know,
and this is where you got to keep thinking outside of yourself sometimes and just think bigger picture.
But it's just a test, isn't it? Test from God, innit? You know how it goes. You get tested, innit?
Always,
you know what I mean? It's fine, you know what I mean? Because it's.
But you need to keep doing this.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm going in.
You need to keep doing this, man, because this is a lane in itself, and it's a unique lane in itself. You know, I mean, I do miss when you was going out though, because even myself, I learned a lot about parties and other artists and DJs that I never even really knew of. Yeah. And even watching a new generation of guests that you've had on this show there, I've learned loads of new artists coming through because we've got to keep it moving. Man.
Yeah, 100%.
Because this generation soon die out soon, you know. And one by one, we're losing a lot of our legends in music already.
Yeah, mad.
So that means that we got to think about the artists, the stars, you know, of tomorrow. And the elders now, instead of this, we use the word gatekeeping. Forget all that. You've had your time, and you're still having your time.
Yeah, you're still going, isn't it? Yeah.
There's enough room for everybody.
Yeah, 100%.
But again, it depends on where you stay. If you're firm in your belief in what you're doing, and you know, and it takes time to get there. So I'm not saying it's an easy thing.
Yeah, no, of course.
That you just turn up and I'm the complete article. No, not at all.
Of course.
It takes loads of tests, challenges, doubt.
And you know what is as well? Yeah, I spoke to a lot of DJs, hosts, whatever. They've gone and come back. Like they've gone, lived their life. Look, GGB example.
Yeah.
GGB was there. He's gone. He's come back. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like I only went for 5 months, 6 months. Oh, not that I didn't stop. I just didn't just go rave.
But that's cool though, because now when you're coming back, you come up with fresh eyes, fresh ears, and even like with anything that you do, you need a break. Like, you know, I could spend time preparing for my show, and just say I've been playing music for a couple of days. After a while, my ears just get numb. Like everything starts sounding the same.
Yeah, you need a break. Yeah.
So I need a break, and then you miss it.
Yeah, and that's what's and
then when you miss something now. That's when,
that's what's been happening.
My hunger's back now, and I'm ready to come back.
I'm ready.
I'm chilled, you know.
But yeah, man, look, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Do you know what? Yeah, as well.
We spoke about everything except music.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's
all good.
I think deep conversation.
Yeah.
I think we touched on it. How I feel like we didn't not touch on it. I just feel like we went into depth of the mental state of it.
Yeah. It's key, man. And I think, and again, without getting too deep, but like, you know, we're all at an age now. We're all adults, most of us in this our scene where we are adults. What am I talking about? But we're all dealing with some serious kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course.
On a day-to-day basis. So it's like, you know, we're two sides of the same coin. You've got the people that enjoy what you do, and you're doing what you're doing because you enjoy it too, as well. But everyone's trying to keep their head on.
Yeah, no, it's true.
That helps with you know, with doing that, man. You know,
well, it's a blessing, man. Thanks for coming on, though.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on. Needed. You know, it is a needed conversation. You know,
you always get a conversation with me. I can chat for England. My missus will tell you.
But yeah, man, thanks for coming on. Many blessings. You know what I mean? Hopefully you have a successful year as well.
Thank you, bro.
You know what I mean?
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, always, man. Hopefully we could have a chat again. You know, I've got another platform going on as well, music related. You know, so be more than one person in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, get a panel, get a few people in, man. That'd be
the other rooms next door.
I know Petchy loves these things, man.
Yeah, Petchy loves it.
When he came on my show a few months ago. He said, "Oh, we were talking about podcasts." I goes, "I love it."
So I'm gonna
big up.
I got an angle like that coming through. You know, I just need to make it make sense. You know what I mean? I need to try and entwine it with this instead of doing a whole different thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Hopefully I'll have you on it, and we go from there, man.
Thank you, brother.
All right, bless, bro. Bless.